Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Oh, wait a second. Hey, okay, now we're back to somewhere. Okay, so we get a lot of things going on tonight. Actually, we've got one big thing going on tonight, and it's really a holdover from last week. And yeah, I actually had to downgrade my version of Kerbal Space Program because the new version was beta. The beta 131 just has a habit of crashing at inopportune moments. It really is rather unfortunate, but I'm having to take a step back in time to chase the dream of To the Moon and Back in 1 hour. And that is where we're coming from. So yeah, this will take a while to load. In fact, I suspect I will have a lot of spare time when I'm doing this. We're basically continuing what I started last week and then taking it to the next level. Meanwhile, yeah, last week I had tea. This week I have Youngling, Black and Tan. Again, this was sent in by an amazing fan, and I've forgotten that person's name. Does it say 2,300 parts? Yeah, wait, oh, it's lots of parts anyway. Costs almost 17 million funds. It has delta V of about 24.5 kilometers per second. Total mass at launch is 48,000 tons. That's pretty impressive, actually. Youngling, whatever. Listen. So yeah, gotta say hi to everyone. We'll launch because that'll take a few seconds, of course. Let's open this up. Of course, I sent this. I think I can actually get this locally, but again, the kind individual picked a bunch of stuff that he likes and sent it to me because I couldn't get some of this stuff in California. So anyway, good evening to Steve Neves and FBE 1701 and Squanchables, Argent God, Halko Mahule, RK711, Mukthulu Bukshiv, Such Badness, Cargo Master, Tic Tac, Salty Factory, Planet 9, Maybe So 83, Nightcaster 767, Cheeseburgers, Kandoku 15, and Silent Searchlight, and Garvande. Good evening to all of you. This is obviously going to take... And another thing to note, we are doing this run, this bold assault on this goal using Valentina Kerman because, of course, she is my favorite, basically. Yeah, so let's do this. We're going to target the moon, set as target. I'm hoping that I can time accelerate this thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that frame rate. Look at that frame rate. Whoa. Look at this thing. You know what? God, I should have worked. I could have fit some more engines on the end of here. I could put way more engines on this thing. What? I could use more parts. But never mind. Yeah, let's do this. So we're targeting that, and we need to... I need to kind of time accelerate until the moon is overhead. That is a big... God, it's like Kerbal PowerPoint. That is correct. So where's the moon? The moon is there, so we need the moon to get more or less overhead. Uh-oh. I don't like the way I time accelerated and that whole thing just sank a few inches. I wonder if there's enough rocket fuel on Kerbin to build that many rockets. You know, somebody today sent me an email saying, you know, so... I hear in North Korea they're using like UDMH. Is that not like a rare resource? You know, how much can they make? I was like, no, you can make that stuff in a chemical plant. They've known how to do that since like the 1920s. Ah, man. This could take some time. So I'm just going to put this thing overhead. Why am I doing this? Because I hate myself. I hate my PC. I really just want to make my PC pay for every time it has run slowly. I'm going to be like, I'll teach you to run slow. I think I've seen Youngling in various places. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's like one of the oldest breweries, right? So yeah, we can get that. Oh, I don't really hate myself. There's many things I do hate, but myself is not one of them. Okay, trying to get closer. Now, fair warning, I also have some banana bread in the oven, and I will have to run upstairs when it's ready, and I can't share it with you, unfortunately. Just that's the nature. Twitch hasn't quite figured out how to send banana bread across the internet. This thing is moving very, very slowly, and I'm sure it's there. Oh, I'm sure it's actually the GPU. I think that gets very. Okay, now look at that. Now the physics is kicking in. Let's see if we can make this happen. Okay. Can I send banana? Oh, look, we may have crashed it already. Look at that spinning thing. This launch is fine when it's just. Oh, look! It came back. It's alive. It's alive, I tell you. Oh yes. Oh, look at this. Cannot quick save while moving over the surface. Uh-oh! I knew this was gonna happen! I kinda knew this was gonna happen. Look at my power! So clearly we cannot time warp when we have all these things. The relaxing physics does not relax particularly well. Yes, we are SpaceXing this like a pro. I'm just gonna... Valentina looks a little, concerned. Whew. Yeah, exactly. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this to stop exploding, recover the vessel, and then relaunch it. Move the camera up just a little here. Oh man. Oh, my webcam video means you can't see. That is a good point. Where should we put the webcam? Let's just hide the webcam for now. Look at Val! She's going, no! Why would you be playing the national anthem during fireworks? No, you'd be playing, you know, some Sousa. Right? Liberty Bell. I think the frame rate is getting smoother as more things explode. The Colonel Bogey March. Yes, that's another classic. I'm really curious to see what is left working after all of this. Look, I think we get some smoother frame rate now that more things have exploded. Oh, we noticed. I thought things had stopped exploding. Oh no, there's still some stuff exploding. This is basically a Kerbal interpretation of the classical, what do you call it? That magnificent composition by Katy Perry. Yes, Firework, right? Yes, you can go and probably get a very long drink in the time this thing will take to finish exploding. It's still exploding! The banana bread will be ready by the time this thing stops exploding. Oh no, she's gonna fall over! I'm sure she'll be fine. I could always EVA her at some point. I'm sure she'll be fine. It would be unfortunate if she were to perish. I think there must be some launch clamps in there holding the thing up. Yeah, she's just hanging there at an angle now. Oh, I was about to say, I think it's done. I think it's done. I'm gonna call that done. Okay. Did anyone keep account of how many explosions happened? Oh, actually, we can F3 the log, right? 1, 2, 3. There, somebody can pause the video and count how many things exploded. And, you know, compute just how many... I don't know. Let's recover that vessel. We're in roughly the right place anyway. So the good news is that we can just recover this and then actually launch. Yeah. Yeah, the debug log should have the awesomeness of all those explosions. It's true. I could probably look at the debug log, but yes. We're recovering the vessel and whatever's left of it. Remember the 20th of September. Well, the 20th of September is also my wedding anniversary, so, you know, it's the 19th of September right now because I couldn't be playing video games when it was on my... I gotta say, I like the fact that I've managed to break the formatting of Kerbal Engineer's thing. Okay, let's do this. Crew... Valentina Kerman. Oh, yes. She is... The launch pad is not serviceable. Kind of great. I need to fix it, you mean? Urgh. Curse you, gameplay mechanics. Okay, so repair the facility. Looks like magic. It is magic. How many... It's got 2,300 parts, basically. Okay, 17th of September is the best day of September. Is the day both the Space Shuttle Enterprise and you were born. Wow, TK0423, we have now just narrowed down who you are in the Equifax data or something like that, right? Right, we're ready to go again? Ready to go? Just check. We have Val. We're ready to go. Oh, yes. And the moon should be in roughly the right place. Have I seen Elon Musk's video of all the explosions? Do you think I've not seen that video? What do you think? Seriously. Okay. So, let's see, what else? We're going to start this thing running, and then it's going to take a long time. It's going to take like 20 minutes to get up. Okay, Laughing Monk. So, GDPENZ is asking about the Laughing Monk brews that have been coming out recently. They are SF based and seem to know what they're doing. I don't know. I haven't tried that. I was at Bear Republic. The guy, I think Bear Republic make Racer 5 IPA. I was at their brewery last night and had about 15 types of beer in flights of beer. So that was awesome. I was with the astronomy department of like Sonoma State University, and I sat next to the chair of the department, and she was awesome. We talked about nuclear weapons and beer and various other things, but I was quite happy that we both had the kind of same background in terms of interest in nuclear weapons. Set as target. Excellent, we're on course. We're on course! Am I excited for Uh-oh. It seems to be taking a really long time. Oh, come back! Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Okay, we're ready? And go! This is taking too long and I can't. I'm sorry, I'm trying to match the frame rate of the rocket. You guys thought the video had frozen. You guys were like F5. So all the parts have to be stock parts. That's important. That's required for this challenge. I'm going to cut the volume a bit just because it seems really loud. No, 486958 is a decimal ID, FBA 51701. They do not number asteroids and minor planets using a hexadecimal system. They number them using a decimal system, right? So, yeah, your dad can have complaints whatever he's like, but he's not an astronomer, is he? Right? Huh? I mean, I understand hex codes. I understand hex like the best of them. You know, I know the hex times table, right? I got numbers. Okay, I should probably bring up the vessel information, right? And surface information. Oh, why have I not got so much? Now we need some more vessel information. Okay, let's see what can we have. Selective vessel performance statistics. Delta V. Oh yeah, I need to install Delta V current. Oh, crap. Sorry. Apparently, scrolling through that list with the mouse is messing with things. Also, I should probably have that fuel tank displayed here. Okay, where were we? I'm going to install Delta V. Why is that not appearing? I think I've actually broken the thing, because all this stuff is listed. Let's put the suicide burn in. Try that now. Nope. That seems to break something. Let's remove the Delta V staged and Delta V total. And then just try to do this vessel. So, no, there is something weird there. I'm just going to leave that. I was really hoping that I would see a suicide burn number. How about if I go to edit this, okay. And so vessel again. Oh. That's right, where's the suicide burn? Suicide burn distance. I'm going to install that and see if it works. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working very well. I think that's just confusing it. Honestly, I think that's confusing it. Ugh. I'm going to close this editor as well. Thank you. Okay. No idea. I think Kerbal Engineer Redux is just maybe a little broken, or maybe I'm making a mistake. Hey, we have 0132-132, which... Okay. Awesome. Sub time. Thank you for subbing. I promise you I won't sing anymore if people sub. Or I will if people ask. I mean, I'll sing songs. Yeah, we're basically going skywards, and Banana Bread will be here in about 10 minutes, and hopefully my first stage will have burned out by that point. Yeah, I think many things get broken. I am so glad for the people that are organizing the chat, because you guys that keep everyone organized, you are awesome, and I know people keep asking for me to set up a Discord server or something, and I probably should at some point, but I'm always really busy. Yes. Somebody wants to see me do my turntable thing, so basically for copyright reasons I stay well away from it. But since we're talking about turntables, I have the Voyager Golden Record. Ooh, look at that, you can actually watch the rocket. There, how's that? It's very hard to tell, but this is the repressing by Ozma Records. It was a Kickstarter. And, yeah, I mean, it gives me a digital code to download the music. It gives me a Voyager slip mat. That is so awesome, right? Because I would actually do something with that. We have like 3 slices of vinyl here. Look. And the vinyl is transparent gold vinyl. Right? That's so awesome. I am so gonna learn to scratch just so I can say that I scratched with the Voyager Golden Record. Comes with like sleeves that are appropriately designed as well. It is so nice, and I'm so gonna have to do something with that. But yeah, right now we're still burning through this first stage here. It could take a decent amount of time. You think you see my stream key in the reflection? No, I assure you there is no stream key anywhere on my desktop anymore after the Fractured Space free weekend stream. The infamous, the famous, the legendary, the stream which I shall never forget. Oh man. You could totally do... I've seen people that did Voyager, the planets from Voyager, showing the space probe on their arm. I've seen people with that. Okay, look, we're getting close to staging. We are getting close to staging here. Look at this. Any minute now. Actually, we're at T plus 27 seconds right now. Oh, man. Let's look down to see what it looks like. Look at that. Is that not a thing of beauty there? I think I'm getting about 60 frames per minute, but I could be overestimating things there. I have a pretty good handle on frame rates and things like that. It's more like I've heard faster drums, put it that way. I should make my snowball mic look like Sputnik. I should, and you know what? We're going to be on 60th anniversary of Sputnik really soon, which means I need to do a history video for the R7 rocket, don't I? Okay, time is almost here. Staging! Did it stage? Yes! Woo! SF Giants 49er just subscribed. That's awesome. Cheers to you. What did we say in San Francisco? We love that city. Look at it go. Look at it go. Aren't you glad that I didn't like Aren't you glad this isn't onion stage or asparagus staged? It's onion staged. What takes up more of my time? YouTube, Twitch, or my actual job? So in order of priority: family, job, YouTube, Twitch. I love Twitch. I love hanging out with you guys, but yeah, you know, I have a lot of important stuff going on always. Okay, we got the second one going. Okay, so we're up to 33 seconds. And you know where we're headed, right? Just in case we've forgotten in this long period, the moon is actually up there. Is it still a Korolev cross? No, it's... I don't know what you call it. But I tell you what, they're still there, you know? Like, this is an indication of the frame rate that we are dealing with. Oh, man. But I will be at TwitchCon, and I'm going to be doing a few panels and stuff like that, so pay attention, you know? Oh, Handshot first would love an explanation of how computers generate random numbers. You mean pseudo-random numbers or actual physical random number generators in computers? Because those are two very different subjects. I'm a big fan. I used, you know, I worked with pseudo-random number generators for a while. I'm glad everybody likes my video on the dumbest mistakes in space exploration. So, and to be clear, everyone's like, well, you gotta include Apollo 1 and Challenger and Columbia, and I'm like, you know what? Those are not dumb mistakes. Those are tragic errors, right? If you can't laugh at it, then it's not a dumb mistake. Yeah, I know a lot of CPUs and stuff now have, or a lot of devices now contain actual hardware random number generators. And it's especially useful for things like many sort of security protocols, key generation, that kind of thing. Oh, something exploded. What is that? I'm guessing something must have crashed into each other down there. But a lot of games will also use pseudo-random numbers for noise. And that is a whole subject in itself, like how you create these procedural meshes. That is all something which you would call a pseudo-random number generator. Yeah, I basically wanted to stay, in the dumb videos, I really wanted to stay away from things where people die, because it really sucks, you know, like, you certainly don't want to make people feel bad about that, right? There was a few ones that people reminded me that I'd forgotten, like Stardust, the recovery capsule, had its accelerometer installed backwards, and therefore it didn't deploy its parachute. But you know, the same thing actually happened with what do you call it? The Galileo atmosphere probe. Its accelerometer was installed backwards, and it descended through the Jupiter's atmosphere, and it was only like pure luck that something else failed and the parachute deployed. I don't think NASA knew about Columbia and didn't tell. No. No, I don't think that happened, RK2711. However, I believe that in the case of Apollo 12, there were people on the ground that suspected that the lightning strike that had, zapped their system, and they had the whole SCE2OX. There were a number of people on the ground that suspected that might have irreversibly damaged the pyros that would trigger the parachutes. And there was no way to test that system. They could test a lot of things, but they couldn't test the pyros. And they had this discussion about whether they should tell the astronauts about this, or whether they should bring them back home. And the decision was, well, there's no point in bringing them back home, because if the pyros are going to fail, they're going to fail regardless of whether they've gone to the moon or not. So we might as well send them to the moon, let them enjoy the moon, and then if they die on the way back because the pyros are done, well, I mean, wow, that's quite a decision to make. But as it happened, obviously, the pyros were all good, parachutes were safe. Apollo 12 was a storied mission for other reasons, such as Alan Bean's handling of the new cutting-edge color camera. You know what? I think this staging is taking so long that I can actually run upstairs and grab the banana bread out of the oven when the time comes. Here's the thing. This is going to be an awful video to edit, because I think we're having lots of fun discussion here, right? There's other things on random number generators that random number generators generally generate numbers in a range, and they'll do a flat distribution across it. But for many statistical purposes, you might want, say, a Gaussian distribution. And there's a clever trick whereby you can take two random numbers from a flat distribution and convert them to two different random numbers in a Gaussian distribution, which are not related. It's quite a neat trick, actually. Another cool algorithm that I'd love to explain one of these days is a fast Fourier transform. I bet there's tons of videos on it, but the fast Fourier transform, when that happened, when I discovered how that worked, it blew my mind. It was like, whoa! This whole, reversing the bit order just was stunning. Oh, man. Anyway, we're getting there. Do I program? If so, what language? C, C++ with blood million standards, C#, Java, Objective-C, Swift, Perl, Python, Ruby, Java, JavaScript, Tickle, I don't know, a few other things. I've programmed in a ton of languages over the years. Oh yeah, and like a dozen types of assembly language. I started programming Z80, then I learned x86 assembly, 68K assembly, 6502. I actually looked at Alpha, which was like a totally odd thing to learn to program. It was awful because it was a RISC instruction set. Wait, that's like an ATM machine. Am I going to do a new XCOM series with the new expansion? I would have if, like, I'd got ahead of the game with XCOM, but I completely forgot it was happening, and I didn't message the guys, and I didn't get a free copy, so I don't feel in any rush to actually play. I don't have feel in any rush to play that game. I am looking forward to the Stellaris expansion. I'm also looking forward to Phoenix Point, which is, of course, Julian Gollop's, XCOM thing. Like, he did XCOM. He did the original XCOM. He's always kind of been big on these turn-based strategies. He did Chaos and the Chaos Reborn. Yeah. So, big fan of that. Looking forward to Phoenix Point. Okay. We're almost about ready to stage here, and then I'm going to run upstairs and check on the banana bread, right? Oh, ARM! Yes, I learned ARM bytecode. Yeah, totally. I learned that back in the days when Archimedes was the only place you would have. Of course, I think there's probably been a lot that's changed since then, because we've gone to, 64-bit instruction sets now. And stage! Did it stage? Yes! Woo! Excellent. Okay. And we are staged cleanly, and I am going to run upstairs and check on the banana bread. Ooh, banana bread. Unfortunately, I can't share it or whatever, right? Back in 1 second. The banana bread is out of the oven. Whew. Okay. That's the second staging operation. Okay. Now, we're still going upwards. I'm not even going to try and steer this thing just yet. What is the efficiency ratio of onion staging versus asparagus staging? It can be quite big, but what it does tend to do is it tends to flatten out your acceleration profile, which can be helpful or otherwise. Garlic bread is better than banana bread. Well, that depends on what you want to do with it. I like both banana bread and garlic bread, I will have you know. We're at 33 kilometers now, and we're moving at almost 1 kilometer per second. Almost. I recently started playing Free Orion and was surprised to see you didn't make a video of it. You know what? I've had a lot of, I've not had as much time to play games these days. Like, you see that I am starting to make a lot more science videos because I like the response to those. Banana bread is basically where you make bread, but you mash up bananas. Ooh, look at that. Suddenly everything changes. Look at that, the smoke trail has gone. The smoke trail has left the building. We are now in orbital mode. At some point I'm going to have to start navigating, but not before I reach like 3 kilometers per second. Banana bread is tasty as anything. You know what, I'm going to switch to the map for a second. Okay, good news is that we're well situated for this. Okay, just check. Had to check that. Oh, man. Sorry, having a bit of burpee. Oh my god, we get numbers! We've got numbers! We've fixed flight engineer now. We have enough. Should probably put the total delta V back in there, right? Available delta V total. Let's install that. And then close the editor. Delta V total, 22 kilometers per second still. Yes. Banana bread is, I guess, a banana cake. That is one way of looking at it. What am I trying to break this time? I'm trying to break my record to go from Kerbin to the moon and back with a crew. And the crew, of course, is Valentina Kerman, because she's just the one that's good at this. Yes, technically I am also trying to break my CPU. Now, I should point out, by the way, bringing up the cheat menu while we've got a second. Cheats. Just to show you. Cheats. No cheats enabled, right? Just to make sure you know that. Because that would be cheating, obviously. We're getting close to another stage. Oh, people are asking about problems they have with their realism overhaul. And they're complaining that their engines don't light, and that is absolutely something that's kind of hard to figure out sometimes, why your engine isn't lighting, whether you haven't got a pressurized fuel tank, whether gravity just was in the wrong direction at that time, whether you've run out of ignitions. Very disappointing that you can't change the number of ignitions, I'm going to say. Okay, we're at 1 minute 44 seconds. No cheats, because that would indeed be cheating. I'm very good at stating the obvious. Any thoughts on Kim Jong-un being Rocket Man? Other than it being an obvious, you know... other than being an obvious, you know, bit of bluster to distract from the whole Russia thing, you know, seriously, like, right now, this is not a good time to be making that. Besides, yeah, never mind. I think Kim Jong-un would be, is looking very closely to see what happens in the Iran deal, for example. Because, if diplomacy hasn't worked with them, it's, means all the more reason for North Korea to walk away from it. Okay. Siphead, are you using... Siphead is complaining that his engine is using all the ignitions right away. Siphead, are you using mechanical jeb to light the engine? Because that is a big problem, where you will frequently end up in this situation. Okay, so now we're above the atmosphere. Time to get rid of this, to save some mass. Now, these bits will kind of fall down through the middle, but hopefully they won't break anything. Fingers crossed! Fingers crossed! Yes, okay, I think we safely got that out of there. Now, if I was really bold, I would actually walk Valentina Kerman back right now. But the truth is, I can't get rid of this thing. That was one optimization I thought about, was adding little Sepatrons there to fly that off sideways, but yeah. No. Oh, sorry, gotta keep this here. We're starting to get close to reasonable frame rates soon. Look at that! It's like almost... It's almost fooling the eye to make it look like it's moving rather than a slideshow. Persistence of vision is finally starting to happen. Oh, wow. We're definitely trying to do speed runs to the moon because we're crazy like that. It's interesting, yeah, my TWR is now up at 3, even though it shows only 2 Gs. The challenge is ultralight backpacking of KSP. Yes. The nose cone, well, the nose cones are full of fuel. That's how I got them. I had considered putting an extra fuel tank on here, but that dropped my average thrust to weight ratio below 2, and I began to think that that might be counterproductive. Bus 1000 got a new phone that does slow-mo at 240 FPS. Never realised how many things flicker in my house. Boy, yeah, my iPhone's done that for a few years, and totally, like, you see all sorts of stuff. But I'm now really looking at the new Sony RX10. Well, there's a version RX10 3 right now, and they're launching an RX10 4, but they both will do 1,000 frames per second. So, very interested in that. Where we were about 1 FPS at launch, yes. Anyway, we're getting close. Soon, once we get above 3 kilometers or so, that's when I'll have to start navigating. So I'm going to aim to get the spacecraft up to about 7.5 kilometers per second. And hopefully aiming for the moon. And that's going to be the kind of hard part here. Oh, the red hydrogen, that... It intrigues me, but I certainly wouldn't want to use a phone by that company on as for my first device. Like, I think it's interesting that they're doing that with their stuff. I think that, you know, it's great that they're trying to look at 3D hardware, but I would not want to trust that to be my phone. Okay, we're getting ready for another stage. We're 2.5 minutes into the flight. Soon be down to... Yeah, I did see I didn't see Everyday Astronaut trying to do this, but, you know, I mentioned that I gave him some times that I was getting. This has been optimized a little since then. I think the kids about the eclipse pretty much say are speechless, because that's really what happens. Okay, see, now we're really picking up some speed here. You should see that we're heading out towards the moon. Oh yes. Oh yes, it shall be mine. It shall be mine. The banana bread is out of the oven now. It is sitting cooling down, and probably Orion's had some already. How was the banana bread, Orion? He says it was good. He actually did a lot of the work on the banana bread, to be fair. I just helped him. Alkali, if you want banana bread, I'm pretty sure you can probably make your own or buy some, because Barting banana bread is not really the most efficient use of the BART system. It is bread-shaped bread that tastes like banana, because it's got a lot of banana in it. Take a look for recipes, it's kind of cool, especially if you have old bananas, right? That's the thing, you can buy the kind of slightly overripe bananas and it works great. Sediment-shaped sediment, I see, yes. So the idea is that once we get on our collision trajectory, we will ditch this pod that she's in, right? We will actually move her down into this pod here. And that should save us a bit of, you know, bit of mass. Look at me! And I still have, oh, wait, I still have over 20 kilometers per second of delta V left. Look at that. Soon The logo on the shirt, I know it was a shirt that somebody bought me from Woot, and it's basically like, it's a record player that looks like Star Trails. That's what it looks like. So it kind of works for me because I'm a nerd that likes records and stars. Such badness, I totally saw shadow bands in the eclipse, and if you look at my 360 video that I made, you can actually see the shadow bands on the video, which is pretty cool. You know what? We need a lot of Delta V because we are doing grand things. So yeah, such badness. If you check out the 360 video I posted, you might see some of those shadow bands. And I posted an enhanced contrast version to Twitter just to like really highlight it. But you know, the thing is, it looks like glitches in the video stream when in fact it's great. So the Lego Falcon, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't really have the space or the money to justify it, and I didn't get enough. You know, I got a fair bunch of views from my Saturn V, but so many people that are in the Lego VIPs club, they've already posted videos of the Falcon, so I kind of, you know, I love it. I would build it with other people if they provided a model. I would help them, whatever, but I'm not doing any Lego Millennium Falcon. Okay, so we are about to get there. Yeah, HOTAS will work with Kerbal Space Program, but I believe the Unity joystick interface that Kerbal Space Program uses has lag issues. The one that I tried it a long time ago with an X52, and the input lag was basically almost unusable. So yeah, if you can get it to work, fantastic. Kerbal Space Program has a lot of different input capabilities, but unfortunately the thing didn't work. Okay, so Delta V current. That's great. We get about 2.3 kilometers per second. That's great, and I can see that in the stage now. So this is where I think I decide whether to go slightly. I'm going to go slightly this way. See if that helps me. So I'm going to choose to follow that orbit just a bit to bring my target down. Now, actually, I should focus the view on the moon. So because the moon is moving, we are coming in slightly behind it. So we're trying to aim to land on the moon, and this would be a nice spot. We want to avoid places with too many craters and stuff because it makes landing a bit of a mess. And we're barely going to land. Let's be clear. I'm barely touching the surface of the moon. We just want to get close enough that we bop the surface and then off we go back home, right? We're not going to plant a flag because we do not have the budget. We do not have the mass budget for flags. If we could afford to put a flag up there, we would be in a much better place. Okay. Oh crap, I overdid it, overcooked it. Overcook it. Back there, back there, back there, back there, back there. I was trying to get this thing in like roughly the right place. So I'm aiming for 7.4, 7.5 kilometers per second on the way up, and then I'll need a fair chunk of that on the way back. Yeah. 4 minutes 43 seconds into the flight now. I'm thinking this will be here just as we reach just as I run out of fuel. I'm tracking my Delta V here on this, right? So I don't need to watch my stage Delta V in the thing. But anyway, I did actually go to the Lego store in San Francisco, and they have a full-size Lego Falcon on display. They have the box, which is huge. The box is like the size of this rocket, basically. Oh yes. Oh yes, we're getting there. 400 meters per second. This is the... 200 meters per second. Okay, so I'm going to switch back here because we're going to do a stage maneuver, or stage operation. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ditch. And back to the map. Okay, 5 kilometers per second. So that's good, because we're going to get up to like 7 kilometers per second, so we can afford a little bit of displacement. Here we go. Well, so there is technically a record for this in the Guinness Book of Records, because they asked me, you know, what's your most awesome thing I did? And I'm like, well, I went to the moon and back in an hour. Unfortunately, when I did that, it was in version 0.9. And that was before re-entry heating was an issue. So when 1.0 came out, that was like the game, or sorry, the book, the record book came out after 1.0 version of Kerbal Space Program. So the record that I set was no longer possible in the game, which is a bit unfair to other people, to other potential challengers. Come on, gotta move a little faster. Okay, and then try to aim for a bit that's not too rough. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Stop, 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 stop. Oh, crap. Stop! Okay, I'm going to take that. That's 7.3 kilometers per second. I don't know what time it is until I hit. So now we're spinning. We're going to open this up. I'm just going to... okay, I got to find the thing in here. Open. So she can EVA. I'm going to F5 it. That's very important. We've got to an F5 moment. So I'm going to climb down and board the seat. That's great. So now the next thing to do is... oh, come on, damn it. Stack decoupler, decouple. Yes, okay. And now we're almost ready to time accelerate here. Oh, excellent, excellent. Okay, so now F5, we're going in roughly the right direction. Whew. Okay, 300 meters per second left on this, right? Okay, so here we go. What? Huh? Why are those advanced? Wait a second, someone's in chat, and I gotta try and change something. I can read it. Oh, what? So someone's asking why the advanced nose cones are pointing outward instead of inward. And the simple reason was I had to fit the fairing into this space. So having them facing outwards meant that I could fit the fairing into that position. See? Yet, why was the Polyus launched backwards? I'm not entirely clear about that, but it was. So I did F5 this thing, right? Yeah, I'm F5ing it again. So I think I'm going to start my deceleration burn at... oh, it's interesting. It tells me 1,000 whatever. Okay. We'll be fine. Yeah, I think I'm going to start my deceleration burn at about 1,000 kilometers, and then if I come up short, I shall use a reload, right? I am doing one of those fast moon runs because I'm a fast moon runner. As you can tell, I'm one of those people that runs to the moon fast with all my fast friends. Are we ready? 50, 40, 30... oh, it says 800 and something kilometers, but I don't think I have that level of thrust. Retrograde. Because my thrust to mass ratio is going to change. There we go. So those things had to join up like that. So this is where I transition from onion staging to asparagus staging. So this is the last onion stage here. These are kind of sitting over the main cells that are sitting in here. And basically I found that the fuel flow didn't work correctly unless I separated these two rockets in terms of their staging. Okay, so it's telling me that my suicide burn is higher than my actual distance, so this could turn out badly. Basically, the simple reason that I used the two different kinds of staging was that it was just very hard to make it, to make the rocket and handle all the staging, and then if I needed to make a change to it, it would take me minutes to drag stuff around, so I just kind of made a lot easier if I just avoided asparagus staging. I think I might have overcooked this, but we'll just hold this. We'll hold on to hope. Does it make it a salad stage rocket? That's a good question. Onions and asparagus. What kind of thing contains onions and asparagus? I mean, like a niçoise salad? No, that's... Does it? No, that's beans. Okay, now my suicide burn is actually decreasing, which is a good sign, but we're gonna have to start staging soon again. 480. Yeah, I am not liking the look of this. My suicide burn is basically decreasing slower than my altitude. I think I might end. I think I need to start a little early. But I'm holding on to hope. So I'm using the aerospikes because they are lower mass than the other engines, and they provide better specific impulse. Yeah, I'm about 100 kilometers short now, so I should maybe stop. Oh, this is going to be so hard. This is going to be so hard. Poor Valentina, but she may survive. We'll find out. Tenderloin staging. Yes, that sounds silly, doesn't it? I don't think crossing fingers is going to help at this stage. This number is decreasing too quick. This number is decreasing too quickly, and this one is chasing it. And I don't think it's going to catch up in time. I could be wrong. It's getting close, actually. Ooh, it's getting close. Oh, no! Now it just flipped out. Yeah. It got close and then it ran away. Now it says 200 kilometers. So yeah, we're going to smash into the surface of the moon. There's no way I am making up that difference. Here's the thing, because of the way physics works, it's entirely possible the game will crash, or Val will survive. Does anyone want to place bets as to what will happen? Because you've got a few seconds. Yeah, I think I need to add an extra 100 kilometers to this. And... boom! Yeah, nothing survived. Nothing. Nothing. It was a complete obliteration. I almost pressed F5 there. I almost pressed F5 and overwrote my save. That would have been a disaster. Okay, we're on our way again one more time. So we'll stop at 1100 kilometers above the moon this time. Okay. Here we go. 8, 9. Okay, slow down a bit. 200, 100. Okay, ready, steady, prepare to fire those engines. Engines getting prepared, pre-chilling, and firing. Basically, the suicide burn indicator isn't much use if you have multiple stages because it can't compute the different thrust to weight ratios for all the stages. But yeah, whatever. I mean, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Yes, I do have to survive Kerbin re-entry on the way back. However, I will do it twice. I will do one with cheats and one without. Now you hard save instead of F5. You mean you hold Alt and F5? It's a good idea, actually. Oh man, have you done this? Yeah, so on Infinite Fuel, I've gone to the moon and back in under 10 minutes. Right? That's pretty easy. You use Sepatrons as your main engine, but although I'll be clear that I did the moon and back in under 10 minutes, but again before re-entry issues, things were there, whatever. And ready to burn out. There we go. And again, I'm going to start anchoring these things just to hold them together. It's nice being able to strut things up when you're, you know, in space. Make sure I light all... Oh shit, I forgot to fire one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that could be a problem. I forgot to light that engine. We're carrying around some dead weight for a few seconds. What's my opinion on the Making History DLC? I hope that the production quality is better than the mods. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't honestly know what's going on with it. But, you know, I'm glad to hear that the team didn't have any problems with the earthquake today, because obviously that was a big concern. But, you know, I'm going to see what happens. Yeah, I mean, they've... obviously, I've been a backer for a very long time, and therefore I get all the DLC anyway. But, yeah. I forgot to stage on the final pair. I don't think that really mattered. I think at that point it didn't really matter too much. So yeah, my suicide burn distance is below my actual altitude, which is a good sign. There we go, all 6 of these firing. And now my suicide burn distance is higher than my actual altitude. And this is where I begin to worry, like, do I have enough delta V in this stage? Oh man. Edit, delta V, suicide burn. Where's the suicide burn? Never mind. Close editor. 109. So my suicide burn distance is actually greater. But you know what's going to happen actually is I'm going to drop this mainsail and have to switch over to something crap. Okay. So now my suicide burn distance is above my thing. But I might still be able to keep this under control. It's within 27 kilometers. This is going to be close. This is going to be really close. Oh! I'm going to be optimistic here. All these things are burning. All these things are burning. Ditch those. Okay, now I'm 20 kilometers short. So I think I might need an extra 20 kilometers to stop this thing. Man. But she might survive now. Nope. What survived? Oh, there's something here. It's a fuel tank. That is all that is left. For now. Look, let's switch the thing to the locked camera. Yeah, that's going to really mess up the encoding. F9. Okay, you know what? You're right. I'm going to do an Alt F5 here to OMG WTF LOL BBQ. No, wait, BBQ, not BBW. Oh dear. Oh dear. No, I did not mean to do that. There we go. Auto strut, heaviest part. Heaviest part. The heaviest part. Okay. So we'll give it an extra 30 kilometers. W and Q are next to each other. It wasn't any Freudian slip. It was a fat finger. Might you get better performance hot staging? So the reason I don't hot stage these ones here is because when they fire, they were slamming these stages into the core stage and breaking things. So I deliberately turned that off. Okay, here we go. So we'll do it 1120 1125. 1125. That's what I'm going to go for. There we go. And soon to burn out. There we go. Okay, so what I wanted to see, suicide burn altitude. I thought there was another suicide burn somewhere in here. Suicide burn. Intake air, specific impulse, heading rate, pitch rate. Surface maybe? Latitude, impact latitudes. Not here. I thought there was a distance to suicide burn or something. Because that would be really helpful right now. Because then I could use that to kind of dynamically adjust. Yeah, it has suicide burn distance, but it's not calculating it for some reason. Oh wait, there it is, there! Oh, what a moron. Sorry, I thought that I didn't have a thing, where in fact it's actually there. So this is the number that I should be looking at right here. And I guess this indicates I'm behind the curve, but soon the mainsails will kick in and things will go faster, and you know, maybe I'll be ahead of the curve. Yeah, so again, I had to make sure these didn't light at the same time, because when they do, they cause damage to the engines above them. And the same with these ones. When you drop them, you have to give them a second to escape, otherwise they can break the core engine. Yeah, I don't care. I get distance, delta V, and altitude. That's what I'm really caring about. Yeah, I don't care about it having there. You know, whatever. Okay. So it tells me I'm 50 kilometers behind. These numbers are just, like, so hard to tell. No, I can see the value in the surface windows here. I'm not really caring, because I just want that. And if it's in 5 different places, that's fine. I can survive. Oh, those poor fuel tanks. They're going to smash into the moon at about 4 kilometers per second. Yeah, the force of gravity on the moon is barely going to have an effect on these things. They're just simply accelerating too quickly. Okay. The moon is starting to loom large. Again, this number getting high. But once we start dropping... Parachutes don't unfortunately work too well, as I'm sure you've heard. There we go. Woo! Excellent. We're down to less than 100 parts, can you believe? Valentina is hiding in here. Oh, you know what? I should probably close this thing here, just to make sure that she's safe and secure from whatever things might befall her. Yeah, I've heard that there's water on the moon probably because of solar wind, and there's also a helium-3 on the moon for exactly the same reason, and cosmic rays as well. Down below 2 kilometers per second, and my suicide burn distance is still positive. Uh-oh. We ditched that. Now, suicide burn distance is negative, but that's fine. Okay, now it's positive, but we are going to probably ditch a fuel tank before we land on the moon, so I should probably be careful, right? It takes so long. Stage Delta V. Oh yeah, Delta V, 200 and... Wait, really? We're about to... Wow, it's only 15 seconds of fuel in this thing. And... Stage. Okay. Well, our number is negative and number is positive. Okay, so... But we have 900... Oh, wait a second. No, we still need more. So this stage is going to burn out just before we land. And that means less acceleration overall, so I think I need to still be very aggressively decelerating here. So we're not going to be able to land because we're not going to have enough rocket to properly stabilize. But the good news is... everything else should work, mostly. Look at us go! Okay, suicide burn is 1 kilometer! No! No! No, I was so close! So close! Yes! No! No! Stop! Yes! Oh, man! I was just... Now, of course, I have to land her. After all that, I have to land her. Okay, leave seat. There we go. She has thruster. She'll be able to land. Okay, wait a second. Now, wait a second. Does it give me suicide burn correctly for this? It does. Infinity. Wait a second. I'm gonna go up and over and then see if it gives me a proper suicide burn distance. It says infinity meters. Yeah, no, it just says infinity meters all the time. Well, that kind of works. Ah, man. Do you think I can land her? I'm gonna try and land her. I think that's important. So let's actually just bring up this EVA propellant. So I probably should try and kill my lateral velocity. That's the first thing to do, right? And then we'll just fall down towards the surface. So that's the first thing. Just zero that out as much as possible. And then control the descent. I could get her into orbit, but I think at this point it's too late. I've decided I want to slow her down. Oh, I should have about 500 meters per second of delta V in this thing. The real question is, you know, where do I want to put it? Horizontal speed... Oh, wait, and now horizontal speed is now too fast. So I've actually zeroed out my vertical speed. And it still tells me no... It doesn't give me any clue of my vertical... 100 meters per second vertical and slowing down. I think I can do this. Do I have an over-the-top exotic rescue mission? No, we're just gonna... No, I want to land this thing. I just needed to stop 1 kilometer early. She might still hit the ground going too fast. But, you know, whatever. Impact time is 27 seconds, and its impact time is actually still decreasing. However, I feel hopeful. This is absolutely science. Yes. Oh, 11:16. I still need to... it's getting late. It's called Project F9. Yes. Okay, here's where I realize that my altitude above the terrain is too high, or too, whatever. So I need to let this thing land while I have enough delta V to slow her down. I mean, I think at this speed she can safely touch down, right? 16 seconds. Where's my shadow? Where's the moon? Where's the sun, damn it? There it is there. So my shadow must be there. It says I'm 270 meters up. Descending at 18 meters per second. I have 1.4 units of reaction control thruster fuel. Ah, there's my shadow there. Now I can properly navigate this to the surface. Horizontal speed 6 centimeters per second. There. There we go. Badass extraordinaire. Oh, we should totally plant a flag. And whoa. Oh man, I gotta save that. Oh. Whoa. Okay. And now I need to F9 that, unfortunately. This is Operation F9. And we're just slightly earlier we need to be. That was a pretty special moment, I'm gonna say. I'm very happy with how that turned out. We're gonna make this thing land first. Okay, once again, back with the incredible Rhyme Animal, Public Enemy #1. Wait, sorry. I keep falling back into my classic hip-hop days. 400, 300, 1300. So it's like 30 is what I should aim for. I'm going to play it just enough safer that I touch down. Just perfectly. So when the number is 3 here instead of 25. 5, 4, 3... Bingo! And we are go once again. Excellent. Now I'm going to enable auto strut. Auto strut. I should probably enable... Oh, auto strut is enabled on that. Well, okay. And you know what I'm going to do actually is... I'm going to disable the gimbal on this. Gimbal locked. Because I think that was causing wobbling that I really didn't want. I didn't account for the mass of the banana bread. That is true. We all know about the many cases in which banana bread has messed up space missions, right? It's true, no, plus or minus half a second means a difference of about 3,500 meters. We got it to within 1 kilometer. So I'm doing it now with an extra 500 meters. I think we're going to be pretty good. And then we just need to touch the surface and no more, right? That's the important thing. We can't be going too fast, but we need to just touch the surface. And like the staging operation, so if the staging operation takes like a fraction of a second longer, that's another 5 kilometers, right? Yeah, so in 0G, they don't tend to have bread. They have tortillas, because tortillas are flexible and soft and don't create crumbs. So yeah, there's you know, videos of people making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches using tortillas. But of course, that is disgusting because peanut butter and jelly is not something I would like as a British person. I don't know why America has such a love of it, but whatever. You know, you guys are cool. I dig it. I mean, I am one of you now, sorta. Okay. Ditch and ditch. Suicide burn distance is still positive. We are totally doing this. We know this is going to happen. Yeah, I think we might have been able to do that last one if we'd, you know, if we hadn't had the wobble kick in an unfortunate moment. I don't like Marmite either. I like haggis and I like PG tips. No, it's okay. I totally understand. I just hate peanut butter in general. It's just a weird... It just doesn't work for me. I hate it when I get like a chocolate and somebody's like, oh here, have one of these, they're awesome, and it's like chocolate and then there's peanut butter in it. It's like, oh, you have poisoned me. It is the texture of peanut butter. I really just, it sticks to my tongue and makes me feel like this. Yeah, that's what happens when I eat peanut butter. I don't think I'm going to have to edit this video at all. This is like, you know, this is almost all pure gold. You know, normally there's a lot of downtime in these videos, but this one's, yeah, wow. Here we go. Excellent. Now, what's suicide burn is still negative, but it will soon be positive. Brilliant. Okay, positive numbers. Positive thinkings. Ah, man. Look at all this. You get a spoonful of peanut butter and then dip it in a bag of chocolate chips? That's just weird. How am I heading towards the moon so fast? Because I built a really big rocket. You clearly missed the start of the stream. I had like a 2,300 part rocket, and that... I could go bigger. I think. I mean, I don't see any reason why I couldn't go bigger. Okay. Suicide burn, 5 kilometers. So I think what'll happen is I will burn out this last stage because the numbers are going, but as soon as this burns out, this could reset, and then I will use the 200, 300 meters per second of velocity to finally perform my last delta, last suicide burn adjustments. Oh, you know what? I love peanut sauce and Thai food. That's awesome. I think that's one of my favorite things. But peanut butter does not agree with me. No idea why. I'm just strange like that. And my kids, it's not genetic. My kids quite happy to have peanut butter. Okay, so suicide burn is 8 kilometers, so I'm actually fine. So I'm gonna just ditch this. It tells me suicide burn time. Alt suicide burn distance is 300 kilometers. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. Oh, crap, 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 crap. Oh, bollocks. Oh, crap. Yeah, okay, so I could have escaped there. Oh, man! Well, how much delta V do I have? I have 7 kilometers per second of delta V. Let's go for the cheat mode return, right? Let's go for ignore max temperature return, right? So I'm going to cheat here because I have limited fuel, basically. So we need to figure out where I am and where I'm going. I'm basically going straight up. Well, you know what I could do, actually, is I could target that thing. SAS target. Oh, brilliant. So I can actually see where I'm aiming. Oh yeah, it's still like totally straight up. So this is actually fine. I'm just going to go this way. That was technically a touch and go. I just lost a bunch of fuel. So at the very least, we're going to get a fast return trajectory out of this, even although it isn't a legal return. So we're 34 minutes into the mission. And unfortunately, you know, we don't have much thrust in these stages, but we should be able to get down there. Would it count to orbit the lowest possible and get out of it? What do you mean by that? Oh, I should probably close this thing up again, right? Just to be fair, right? Close, close, close. So we've got like a... Yeah, we get almost 7 kilometers per second on this thing, so we should be able to get back to Kerbin possibly in under half an hour, possibly before the 1 hour expires, right? So even with a damaged rocket, we might break the 1 hour mark. It just is going to take some effort here. And bingo! Excellent! Again, we're accelerating at about 1G. It's less of an issue because so I was kind of concerned about the G-forces being low, but then I realized that a lot of the problems is losses due to gravity effects. And since we're leaving the moon, it's less of an issue to have lower acceleration on the way back because you're not having to worry about gravity losses anymore, because the moon is basically, at this point the moon is almost nothing. Gravity assisting would be very much slower. Okay, I've got delta V in this stage of 600 meters per second. I'm just gonna keep pushing it. Actually, you need to go north a bit just to flatten this out. 400 meters per second. Is anyone watching Orville? I am watching Orville, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I wish there were more jokes, but I don't think anybody could really match Red Dwarf for the level of jokes intensity. It's good in places. It needs a bit more work, but I do also like the number of guest appearances, like the cameos from all these cool people. I think the show has a lot of potential, and it's clear that Seth MacFarlane has a lot of love of sci-fi. You know, he actually kind of has a handle on good sci-fi. I'm not saying it's gonna replace Star Trek or Doctor Who or anything, but I'm pleasantly surprised by how smart. Yeah, I'm watching, almost expecting him to break into Stewie. Okay, here we go. I've switched off thermal properties, so I don't need to worry about the aero braking, right? I'm just going to be accelerating straight down. So actually I can now use time acceleration to make this happen faster. Time to impact would be nice. Again, number I don't have. Maybe I should have my orbit there. It'll work when I get into orbit of Kerbin. Once I leave the sphere of influence of this cursed moon, which has splattered me across the surface far too many times. No, once I leave that, I will have all the information I need for a bold return to the surface at speeds unheard of. Yay! There we go. Man. We're headed straight downwards. Perhaps I need to offset a little just to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. Altitude is still relative to the moon at this point. Time acceleration is only a factor of 2. Can I make a brief overview of real Apollo mission re-entry or how they braked? I would, but there's a fantastic NASA video that goes into a great deal of detail about it. And it is much more watchable than I could, you know. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I don't miss the planet. That would be really unfortunate. We're just going straight through the middle of this thing. The danger now is that the danger, hypothetically, is that I would, oh yeah, smash into the surface. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to do this. You just have to look for like Apollo re-entry video thing. Okay. And for the last stage, oh crap! No! Oh, good. Apparently, that turned me around a little more than I expected. I need to adjust the seat. Well, okay. Never mind. Retrograde. 7.29. Let's get out of the sphere of influence and see what happens. Okay, so... Vessel. Orbital. Time to periaps, 21 minutes. Oh! Oh, we're going to be just slightly beyond an hour because we lost parts of our spaceship. Use the land editor to cut a hole through Kerbin and land on the far side. That would be kind of interesting. Here, 1 hour. Man, it's so unfair. Like when I was testing this, I get better times. Now let's just see if we can survive re-entry. If we can like slow down before we hit the surface. This will be really interesting to see if this happens. It might not actually be possible, but I have belief that it will be. There we go. You see, it slowed down just fine. So, yeah, it is interesting. I think her head weighs a lot more than the body, so I need to move this thing back to the side. And it's good to know that I guess I didn't test this thing and it managed to flip me out of position. Having G off the scale, that's pretty much, you know, common practice for me. Are there any images of the Saturn 4, like Saturn 5 upper stage impact sites? Yes, there are. There are images of those impact sites. I think there's a combination of flat earthers that are trolls and people that actually believe that rubbish. I'll put it that way. Oh crap, and I forgot to change the deploy altitude. Ah, okay. Look, there's a cactus nearby. Look at her go. I mean, we have stuff here to fix this, but I might need to readjust this because I had previously run a test and found that these things were causing a rotation, and I thought it was because the seat was too far in that direction, so I moved it into the middle, and then it feels more like it needs more of a thing. Let's see what way it hangs. Yeah. Oh man, we are about to land. 1 hour 6 minutes. That is so far off. That, man. Still, she gets to gets to get out and walk around. Whoa! Hey! She like cartwheeled out of there like a pro. Okay, wait a second. There's a cactus nearby. This is where I need to use time acceleration. I want to run up to a cactus and punch it. You know what? I've actually been able to land it several times without a parachute, but I felt like it was appropriate to include it. Right? I felt that it was cheating when I was relying on it. I mean, I could easily pop her out of there and then just have her drop headfirst onto the ground. What do I think about flat earthers? They're a bunch of idiots. If they're trolls, then they're trolling badly. And if they really believe it, then they're believing it for some sort of literal interpretation of the Bible reasons, then they clearly haven't read the Bible properly. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Flat earthers, bunch of rubbish. Guys are morons. Ah, yes, and she has successfully completed her mission to fly to the moon and back in a short amount of time and then transform into a cactus. Is that not the greatest ending to a mission ever? I think the real appropriate way to end this is to say, I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.